Hey, how's it going? Today's 12th of January, Friday, and we are taking a look at the market and what kind of opportunities are available out there. I thought it might be great taking a look at perhaps some of these press releases as well as something myself we're going to be taking a look at that would be cybersecurity. That would be very important. Perhaps not enough attention currently as we speak. I've been giving perhaps to this area, right? So perhaps we're taking a look at that. I would be taking a look at perhaps a national cybersecurity center within UK. But before we jump into that, I thought it might be worth taking a look at some of the announcements made. Let's begin with those and let's progress into perhaps how we can approach this area. Perhaps what's cybersecurity is worth its own video. But let's start with perhaps a letter. That would be digital markets, competition and consumer bill, roadmap to digital markets regime. Let's start with this one and progress from there. Recently, there was a letter released on or updated on 11th of January. So that would be yesterday, and that would the overall correspondence ministers ask the CMI to set up plans to implement digital markets competition regime. Let's try to understand this opportunity a little bit better and everything what was outlined. The parliamentary under Secretary of State of the Department Business and Trade, I think that's DBT, and DSIT have written to SMA asking for set out its plans and proposed timelines to implement the new digital market competition regime. Briefly, we can take a look at that, but I think it not necessarily would have anything other than it's in the name. Perhaps for people who are interested, there's letters there. I think it's already in the name. What I personally believe would be more important than that would be a speech. The speech that would be, for people who are interested, perhaps worth taking a look at the letter. I think it would be just perhaps like some recommendations of what to do within the letter. That's about it. So I thought it might be worth delve a little bit deeper and try to understand everything what's happening. There was a speech that was given by the SMA's approach to digital markets regulation that was remarked by okay, that's the names there. Sarah, let's skip last name, CEO of CMA, delivered during the January 24 conference tech antitrust conference. That would be in the US, and it was the speech was released yesterday. I think that would be more important. Let's take a look at this one. I perhaps can preface this by saying that I'm currently in the process of reorganizing everything and how I would like to keep my records in perhaps worth keeping in physical and digital formats. And I'm in the process in trying to understand what is the best process, as well as I have reached out to a number of government institutions, and I'm looking to understand what would be perhaps best practices to have that. While currently I'm in the process, perhaps it's worth taking a look at some of the governing bodies or people within different institutions, some of the speeches that they have made. From there, perhaps in the future, I can touch on examples of how to do it. But again, I'm not perhaps professional. Perhaps the best case might be something that I'll be taking a look at later. That would be National Cybersecurity Center, and they would have all advices of best practice of how to do it, right? I'm like, oh, again, I'm myself coming into this. I would like to understand it. Let's take a look at format. Fireside chat with. Okay. So there's some names there. Let's skip all the names, right? Just in case the perhaps as people do not want to be mentioned. What's happening currently within UK for whatever reason? UK currently, perhaps because of laws for whatever reason, might be the outsourcing most of the services to US. We're outsourcing. Perhaps it's a lot easier to scale models within US. So they're outsourcing everything there. I would highly suggest to perhaps start building your own things. That's my suggestion coming into this, right? And again, we take a look at perhaps private company and the communications within the US and the conference calls and speeches, right? Perhaps within this conference call, let's try to understand, I guess, or perhaps course of action and or how UK might consider begin building their own things instead of outsourcing to US. Perhaps there's gonna be something there. Let's begin with introduction. Question one. For anyone who is less familiar with UK's competition and markets authority, could we begin with the overview of what CMA is and how you approach your work? Okay. I don't know if I should read it or not. There's a lot of information. The CMA is UK's Principal Competition and Consumer Protection Authority. We have a range of legal powers and responsibilities that include merger control, enforcing against breaches of competition law and consumer protection law, and conducting wider ranging market studies and investigations. In many respect, respects, our remit is similar to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission and Antitrust Division of U.S. Department of Justice. Although there are some differences in our powers and how they are executed. Okay, so this is what perhaps is a target of my considering being, but it's not really what they are. I already knew it's gonna be a mess. This person needs to explain something very complex in 5 sentences, so not necessarily would be able to do that fast. I think all the projects currently, as we speak right now, it's very hard to scale those projects within UK or Europe, right? So if there's any projects being built, usually those projects would be bought out, purchased by other companies within the US, and they would explore those projects and how they can scale digital projects and how they can scale those projects within the US. So it would happen that there isn't that many projects within UK, and all the companies and everything what we are doing will be US companies right now. Since UK left European Union, the international profile of antitrust and merge casework has increased. This reflects on the fact we have now have direct responsibilities for reviewing UK's impact on many global deals, and the antitrust competitions conduct cases where UK elements will previously have been reviewed by European Commission. As a result, we have become a more significant agency for US companies doing business in UK. Likewise, close working with other agencies internationally has become more impacted than ever for the SMA. The increasingly important part of their portfolio is work related to digital markets, and that includes for merger controls, antitrust cases, and the new digital markets competitions powers we are expecting to be given. Draft legislations for those powers is currently going through the UK's parliament, so it's particularly timely for us to be here in the US West Coast this week to deepen our engagement with many of the tech firms that have an interest in our work. This direct engagement has already proven immensely constructive, offering opportunities to connect with emerging firms and key industry players. We also have to engage with events like this, which provide us with a valuable platform to share insights about the work and our current perspective, exchange ideas, and expand our understanding on the digital markets landscape. I think this market is highly regulated. Here you go. That's all the sentences highly regulated. If there would be less regulated, perhaps there might be more firms tackling some of those issues as of now. This person, there's a lot of things that she needs to read, right? And she is looking to share this pain with others. And now we need to read a lot. Touche. By the way, it's very important market, so perhaps worth reading all information. The UK's new competition regime for digital markets. Question 2. The UK is setting up a new competition regime for digital markets. What is the reason for that? And what will it look like? Okay. So there's gonna be perhaps ease on the regulation, so it will be easier to build some projects within the market, which would be great. But I don't know if that's coming into this, right? And compared to what markets, right? Where we take a look at some of those markets, in even if there's some projects, well, I don't want to advertise any projects. There's so many interesting projects being done where overnight they could collect those projects, the digital projects can collect millions of customers. As of now, this is what's happening in other parts, not necessarily within the UK, right? With population size, right? So there are so many opportunities. So let's try to understand what regulatory bodies would you make sure it's a lot easier to do business. The pace and scale of digital transformation has been incredible, bringing enormous benefits for people, businesses, and economies across the globe. In the UK, the digital sector is growing rapidly, attracting substantial investment, contributing billions to pounds of the economy, and creating millions of jobs. Okay, so it does, right? So okay, we all agree on that because it's kind of to be considered very easy to scale about how much investment that might be required, right? Compared to alternatives. So it's easy to scale. Okay, what about those regulations? At the same time, we're seeing the concentration of market power in the hands of the small number of tech firms across a number of digital markets. There have been widely aired concerns in many jurisdictions globally that exciting competition law regime may not be sufficient to address the impact of the concentration of power in a timely and effective way. That's led several jurisdictions to introduce new powers to tackle competition concerns in digital markets. For example, in EU and Germany. Okay, in European Union, where there's one of the governments is Germany, perhaps one of the leading governments, right? Based on perhaps population purchasing power. In the UK, back in 2018, the Government Commission of Digital Competition Expert Panel, chaired by the professor. Okay, that's the name there, Jason. Let's keep that to make recommendations on changes to the case competition framework to address the economic challenges posed by digital markets. That review recommendations updating the rules governing merger and antitrust enforcement, as well as proposing a new set of pro-competition measures to open up digital markets. Okay, I understand what a person was proposing. It would be a lot easier, or perhaps that would bring more opportunities. Otherwise, a lot of companies, based on where those companies are located, local laws where the company is located, might handicap the company, right? So not necessarily the company would be easily be able to expand. Where with other regions, right, top performing regions, it would be a lot easier. So overall, so we're referring to this person. Let's progress. In response to that recommendation and recognizing the many benefits of digital markets bring to the people and businesses, the UK's government is introducing new pro-competition digital markets regime to address the market power of a small number of technology firms. The legislation to deliver the new regime is set to the Digital Markets Competitions and Consumers Bill, which currently I don't know should I carry on with that. So they're looking to reduce some of the bigger players, so it's perhaps very hard for a lot of companies to compete with them. So perhaps what this is something that they're referring to. But I don't know, it's good, it's bad, but overall, that's it might be a waste of time. So the person is in US giving a statement about UK slowing down some of the bigger players so perhaps smaller firms can keep up. So if myself coming into this, right, I don't know, I haven't read it, everything, right, I'll just like to put the things into perspective, right? So my company would need to compete, a smaller company, against other players who potentially have unlimited resources. How I could do it. Don't know, don't know. Let's ask better question. How things got up to this point in the first place? I don't know about how much money are we talking about. Yeah, about millions, hundreds of millions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. So if we're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions, not necessarily. Might be a lot of words happening here, and might be a waste of everyone's time. I'm saying we're not necessarily talking about thousands of pounds, right? So if we're talking not necessarily, there might be a lot of trickery. But I guess if you would ask me, there's a front there, and the people are doing. If they actually accomplish anything, it's a completely different story because there's a lot of things happening, and I don't know, it might be a waste of everyone's time. If anything, there's a person there, and the person is doing something. If we will see and keep tabs if a person is able to accomplish anything. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published the book Project Fit Flow. Within this book, I'm taking a look at the body and everything what people would need to know, or that would be very useful information to know when it comes to understanding your body. Some of those areas would be recovery, nutrition, and working out. Three key areas that will be very important for many people entering this new year. If it's not something that you have done any research and or had a chance to understand previously, what can be a better time of begin now if you can and understand more about the process of bettering yourself, living a healthier lifestyle, and process of very beginner friendly information, and how you can progress through the process and potentially eventually perhaps begin making money out of doing something that you like. You can find it QR code in the Connor Company's website below. As part of the update report we are planning for March 2024, we expect the update on our thinking on the proposed principles, including how they have been received by stakeholders and where they have been reflected in the company's actions. And the feedback we received during the course of the meetings we are having this week will be important input into that. Overall, so I don't know. If you would ask me, all things out of control, right? So hopefully, there will be some control. So if I myself or other new startups would be interested in building something, right? And if those new startups would need to compete with infinite resources companies up there, and these people need to get things in order. I don't know. We're gonna be waiting for those updates on March, I guess. I'll try and see myself perhaps what the process might look like, and perhaps we can take it from there. Thanks for watching. See you next one.